Alright, what's up everyone? Back with another 15 in time chest. It's a SoB Borealis. This one was done the week of teaming and raging. I don't remember how many weeks ago that is. So I kind of held off on making this one because I am not a fan of SoB Borealis. That's like my second least favorite dungeon behind Toldagor. As you see here, our setup is not a bad setup. But I'm only ranged because this guy happens to be feral. So I get picked for the first boss on every cast for his Iron Gaze, I think it's called. And I just don't like playing around with that because it just seems like sometimes the timers don't line up for the bomb to drop so I can kite the boss through. And I rage pretty hard. It's just, I don't know. Just always seems to bother me, the first boss. That's the only boss that really bothers me. Sometimes the last boss is just not done properly. But for the most part, this dungeon is not the worst. Just that first boss is always, triggers me. So let's go ahead. This is a +1, SoB Borealis 15. There's my talents, my gear. And like always, I go through these pretty quickly, but if you pause the video and stop and have a question as to why I run what I run, my essences, all that stuff, just let me know. There I go, putting the square over the tank. It always just helps me. I don't know if it helps anyone else out to like see where the tank is at. It helps me just kind of not pull ahead of the tank, or to run ahead of the tank. And hopefully that helps the other DPS players because I almost always pug. What are we waiting on? Okay, skipped that a little too far. There we go, pulling. Schism on the highest health target like always. Hit him with my dot. So the dot spreads, and since these mobs are kind of low HP around him, I don't need to worry about dotting all of them like I could, but I don't know, sometimes it just seems like it's a little too tedious for me, so I just skid them, single target rotation, and that's how I heal. So yeah, we're playing with the Feral Druid here. Feral's really not that bad, it's just they bring less utility compared to a Balance Druid. Excuse me. Oh, there's also Wall Ball from the guild I'm in, 1. He decided to help me out with this, which was really cool. I don't remember if this is my key or not. I don't think it was. I skipped where he put the key in. But yeah, this guy, pretty good tank. Vengeance Demon Hunter is on the up and up. They have been for a while, in my opinion. I think finally, like, the general community is figuring, like, oh, Demon Hunter's actually pretty dang good. I think they were pretty good last season also, but this season, that they can play like that really defensive and tanky build, and Twilight Devastation is going to kind of even them out where they don't need to rely on a Spirit Bomb to do damage. They can do Gluttony to heal. I think I got the talents right. I think Gluttony is the tanky one and Spirit Bomb is the offensive one. Because last season it was a choice, like do you want to be more tanky or do you want to be more offensive? And now this season you can be more tanky and then hopefully get some good corruption and get Twilight Devastations and just benefit. But yeah, Wall Ball, if you're watching, thanks for helping me out on this one. Sorry for the rage. I have done some sieges since then. Actually, I don't remember. This might have been my last in-time SoB Borealis, actually. Yeah, this was my last in-time SoB Borealis. I guess I was trying to avoid this dungeon. I got like 15 out of it, and I was kind of like, whatever. I don't really need it anymore. But this here, this current UI right now is, it's kind of, this is like my standard UI, besides the stats up here. I like these stats actually, but they're a little too small for me. So I don't know if I have a newer video that has my newer stats that I have down here next to my atomic tracker. And honestly, I just like to look at it to see my intellect go up, and just my stat procs. I just like to see where I'm at. It's probably not good to have because it takes my focus off of like the combat and what's going on and who needs my atonement. But I like to look at see what my buffs and what my stats are. So I just like to look at my intellect because when I get my way to go, not you have to move out of raging there. But when I get my intellect procs all lined up, yesterday I think it was, I hit like 28k intellect, and that's it was just fatty DPS and heals. It was cool. There to spread. There's a lot of mobs here. I know there's a lot of damage going out. Heavy slash, like right there, the druid forgot to move. Heavy slash is a good. It's easily avoidable, but for some reason it's kind of hard to tell, I guess, because you can't really tell which way the mob is facing. So I try and get my atonement out of many people, and then the marksmen there, those molten slugs, they don't only cast on tanks, they just cast on everyone. This is a tyrannical week. If this is fortified, obviously they'd hit harder, and that's a mob you actually have to look out for because there's no, as far as I know, way to tell who's about to get hit with molten slug. Is it just a frontal cast? It might just be a frontal cast and sidestep. It looked like I was able to do it right there. But here we go. I apologize in advance. Here is me raging. We're going to wipe the first time. Do we wipe? Or do I get out of this? So right here. So that cannon doesn't drop, but do I stand there? Like, look where this one's dropping. There's that one dropping. But look at his cast timer, too late. And now, I know I was supposed to run through it, but I thought, I don't know, I guess I thought I can actually live with just a little bit of health left, but I couldn't. So here we go. I start raging. I'm gonna lie to this to say I did, but I was on the second one. But okay. So we're back at it. This rage is just so annoying. Like at this point, I'm just pissed. Alright, Iron Gates. Where do I go for a bomb right now? Where do I go? And where was I supposed to go in the first one? I guess the first one I was just supposed to run and get hit immediately, right? But where am I supposed to go right now? Fucking nowhere. So I'm just gonna go get hit, I believe. Do whatever I can, stay alive. On me again, obviously, because it's on the range. But like, where are these bombs? Like, the timer on this fight is just like, I must be messing up. I have to be, right? Alright, so here comes the bomb. Do I get him on this one? Probably not. Okay, I think I get him on this one. No fucking way. That's the shit. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I just need to play a little better. Honestly, it's just me, I guess, not running into him. There I go. Raging, raging, raging. We're just gonna skip ahead. see us running. Here comes attempt 2. We do it this time. It's just, this boss is just so fucking annoying. Like, why are there no bombs being casted already? Like, I should just... I need a bait here, right? Okay, cannon barrage. Can't get him hit. Okay, maybe I could have gotten hit there. Not gonna hit it. Alright, but at least there are bombs for me to pick from now. I probably picked the wrong one. I should have picked the other one that was closer by. Okay, this time, like, I felt like the timers actually lined up properly here for some reason. Like, I just don't get it. I really don't. I'm already doing it wrong. I should have already been baiting him instead of like running like I did. That timer's close. Doesn't even get it. Okay, we get it. So if you're watching this, don't stand and rate explosive like I just did there. If you're watching this and trying to learn, like, I'm probably not the best person. Like, I'm watching this again, I'm learning like I should do it, how I should do it, and obviously this run like made me learn. So even though I've done some sieges, they've just been fails from this boss, or this dungeon is just interesting on a lot of fixes. But yeah, right there, just run through. If you get gaze like that and there are no bombs, just run through and pop a defensive on the other side. Pop a speed pot so that way you don't get hit by anything. If you have that too, if you're like a druid or someone, I mean, then you're a freaking druid. You know, you can cat form and run out, or if you have talented into that sprint, you can sprint out. But here I do it correctly. I think you're gonna see me rage in like a positive way here. I don't remember. Yeah, fuck this place. Like I typed that, but I actually had like a grin on my face just because it's like finally over with. Like, oh gosh, that boss is so aggravating. But now that I know it a little bit better, like I don't know, I just watched that again. I'm like, duh, just freaking run through it. Like, I think I've just done it before when I was an inexperienced Discipline Priest, and I was just like, oh, what do I do? Like, I have no instant heal. I can't do anything. I'm just gonna complain and bitch. And now, after raging about that, I learned. And watch this again to make me learn again. But yeah, so if you're watching, the takeaway from that first boss is to if you get gazed and you can't get to a bomb in time, or the bombs don't line up, like it seems like it happens sometimes for me. When he's pulling you in, Hangman Deuce, just run at him and keep running through. Don't get hit by his swirl. It's probably what, like 10 to 15 yard AoE around him. Easily avoidable. Pop a defensive if you're a slow guy. Like, priests are pretty slow, but I'm expecting to. I forgot the talent name, but when I have shielded myself, I run faster for like 3 seconds. So I popped out on the other side, was able to get through before getting hit, and then it's easy from there on out once you figure that part out. And then from there, you just want to line up the boss. You want to, if you're the only ranged, or if you are a ranged DPS player, you want to be between you. You want to bomb between you and the boss. That way you don't really have to move. If you're a hard caster and the boss is running at you, trying to hit the bomb. And you kind of have to pay attention to what bomb, when there are timers, and which one's about to go off first, which one's closer to the boss. It's a lot easier than I made it seem that first time, and the run goes much smoother from here on out. And this was also tyrannical. I really enjoyed the challenge it gave me, even though I was ready to quit immediately. Once through that run, it's like, this is gonna suck. But we timed this one, +1 chest. Here, multiple targets, that means multiple dots. Let's get my atonements out because of this molten slug going out. So I don't know who's going to pick the hit. So you just want to play it safe and have atonements just out on people. That way when the damage, if the damage does come in, you just have your atonements ready to heal. And your dots already roll. some Holy Novas and big group AoEs. I like Holy Nova. So there's haven't seen, I guess, many Cedar Borealis runs like high keys, but the few that I have seen, most teams take those spotters or that spotter or any spotter in the run, and they take it like the whole entire dungeon to like use this sighted artillery to help kill. This is what I'm trying to do here. It's actually pretty cool that Blizzard implemented this in a dungeon where you can use a mob's ability against other mobs. I actually kind of like that. But that is a play for Siege of Browse, is to take a spotter and just keep it alive. And actually, as a Discipline Priest, for weeks like bursting, where there's damage outside of combat, and even Grievous, keeping one mob alive, a spotter, and just no one hit it besides the priest, and then that way the priest can heal while transiting from pack to pack. I don't know, watching this again is making me like, man, I want to go in there and get another Siege of Browse key done. I was trying a 17 yesterday. I did the first boss just fine. I died the first time. I think that I wasn't able to run through the boss quick enough. But then I got the Brez, and then I was able to do it fine the next few rounds. I think I was the only melee again. But it was just, I think, a weird route we did, and just a lot of like unnecessary deaths. Like, it was weird, but we failed by like 20 minutes. But I wasn't annoyed at Siege Browse yesterday when I did it. But yeah, here this obelisk, as per usual, 5 mobs that can be dotted, and they all have a high enough health pool that you'll get benefits from your dots that turn into hots via atonement. So you're going to want to dot everyone up. You don't need to have atonements on everyone. You can kind of do how I did it there, or was trying to do it there, is someone gets hit, you can pop an atonement on them. Like, they don't get hit very hard on that guy besides the tank. So broadside here, that is like right there, boom. Like, it's hard to tell, all this visual noise here, it's hard to tell which way this dude is facing. So I know that, and I didn't want to Rapture to start, but I kind of wanted to I'm going to have it again for the boss, but I just didn't want to use it. I just sat on it, and I shouldn't have. But I wanted to go with the Radiance route first, and you see how high my HPS has got there. It was like, what, 82k top 2? That's just because there's so many like frontal cones that are hard to see, and broadside, it hits hard. Even on P-Saws, this is a Tyrannical week. I was fortified. Whoever got hit to 40% might have got hit to like 10%, 20% HP. But yeah, that's just something, it's just knowledge of the runs, the mobs, or the dungeons, the mobs and what they do. So there I just played safe. Just make sure everyone has atonements out, make sure I have as many dots up as possible, and just hopefully it works out, really. And we had a few marksmen in there just taking random shots at people, so pretty dangerous pack, honestly. So in my opinion, it's just best to play it safe, and best to just play it safe and have atonements out and ready to go. So I don't know this boss's mechanic as far as why does she jump away sometimes and sometimes doesn't. I don't know. I think maybe this run she won't jump away at all. Did I really just side? I just sidestepped into a volcanic. Volcanic is like a non-affix, but I sure as shit made it seem like it is and affix this run. How embarrassing. That's alright, this whole run was kind of embarrassing. But I'm cool with it, so that's why I'm putting it up here on YouTube. And hopefully you guys, maybe I'll get some people on here who feel the same way as I do. on the first boss, and maybe they'll see like, okay, like if he can go through it, I can do it too. So. Yeah, why don't you just take a... Yeah, there you go. What do, actually, what it should have sidestepped right into it like last time, dummy. Pad the meters. Pad the meters. Stand on volcanic. That's actually something you could do if you wanted. As a Discipline Priest, pop a shield on yourself, stand on volcanic, get hurt, hit yourself up, and make your HPS look better than it actually is. Is that like an actual productive thing to do? Probably not. Oh yeah, this is a teaming week too. Siege Morales is just I'm glad, man, we timed this, but the teaming in here also, there's a lot of annoying mobs in here. And a lot of like on death affixes that happen in here that on like some small mobs and low HP mobs that don't happen in other runs or in other dungeons that have small mobs. This is just like a double shit. So if this is like teaming and sanguine or teaming and bursting and tyrannical, I don't know. That would be a really challenging run, let's put it that way. Do I have radiance here? Yep. Trample seems to always target the furthest range player, so I thought I was far enough out of the way there for his line of trample, but I wasn't. So if you're watching this and you're trying to learn Siege Morales, trample, from my experience, has always targeted the furthest player. So he's going to turn wherever the first player is, he's going to cast, for like maybe a 1.5 to 2 second cast, and then run in a straight line for about 20 yards, in-game 20 yards, and then knock down whoever's in line, and I think it's like a 1.5 second knockdown. So if you're not sure if it's coming at you, look around, see if you're the furthest range player, and if you think you are, sidestep about 5 to 8 yards in game, and you should be fine. And you'll see him run right by you, and you juke the shit out of him, break his ankles, and you'll feel great. Oh, they also do that bolstering shout, and they're also a higher health mob too. So if you're a Discipline Priest watching this, that's a good target to have schisms on, because you'll get the most benefit out of your schism. It's going to be up. It's going to be the most uptime out of all the mobs around that target. Here, these, I don't know if they changed these. Like, the bananas are a lot easier to see for me, and then they also don't seem to last like 45 years like they used to in the last season. It seems like they're a lot easier to see, and then they also don't last as long in season 4. And if you're watching this and know that information, let me know. Like, is that a thing? Do they? I just got fucked right there. But is that a thing? Do they reduce its time that's on the floor? I don't know. So let me go back here. A little bit of learning moment. I think it's right around here. So we're gonna see, I believe it's this guy here, Vicious Slaughter, Bilge Rat Pillager. So that's that nasty green frontal cone. It's another one of those, like, look at all this AoE noise. It's hard to see where he's facing. So look at 2 atonements. I have 2.4 seconds left on this one, and I don't know how long is left on this one. So I know I get stunned here, but if I didn't get stunned and if I was playing better, I would not really be up in this mess here. I think I moved forward because I wanted my Cloud Devastations to hit. I don't know. But if you see a Bilge Rat Pillager in your pool here, you're gonna want to play it safe in my opinion. And have atonements on all 5. This can be stunned, pushed, knocked down, like all this stuff can happen to this mob. But a lot of players don't really pay attention to that. I think they try and go for Banana Rampage instead. Or they're worried about the, where's the big guy? Demolisher, I think. I think they're worried about his fear or his frontal cone. So there's just a lot of mechanics going on with this specific pack here and these mobs like individually. And all together they kind of make this like beautiful storm of shit. And just do what you can to help that beautiful storm of shit not be so much crap. So as for me, I could have had, no, barrier's still down. I could have paint set myself, but I don't know, that could have been on him if he's lower. I don't want him to die. There's some things I could have done better here, but priority I could have done better here was make sure everyone has an atonement up. So we all get hit, we all get chunked a little bit, but if that was fortified, we probably would have had a death or two in there. So it's just something to be wary of. The Bilge Rat, Pillager, and their frontal cone of nasty crap. So if you're watching that Discipline Priest, hopefully you learned. Oh, okay, I see a Pillager coming up in my Seed of Browse run. I want to make sure most of my guys, if not everyone, has an atonement. Even if I'm not benefiting as much from my Sins of the Many, which is fine, because you're still getting, what is it, 6%, 7% of this damage? I did not know Demon Hunters can do that. This Mother Liquor just jumped across that. Demon Hunters need a nerf. That double jump is insane, man. There's so many skips, like, there's just so many skips with double jump. I'm surprised it didn't snap, I guess. Well, no, I guess it wouldn't snap because it still had a target to, or a way to run through him. But yeah, after that rage, I had the first boss, right? Like, thought I was gonna quit, but look at this run now. It's going really smoothly, really smooth. I think we end up getting like another, I don't know, 2 to 4 deaths before the run is over, but we do time this. So let's pause here and talk about this. So I know Priest pretty well, and I know these invaders here, they hurt. I don't highlight over this, but I think this is like he coated his daggers, whatever the hell this guy uses, with poisons, and whoever he's targeting is going to hit poison. It stacks up to 5. I don't know. Oh no, it does not show here on this. Does not show here as a debuff because I have my party frame set up to where it only shows me a debuff that I can dispel. And I just know from tanking from earlier seasons, and even this season, that I get, it's a 5 stack and it hits pretty damn hard. It's really hard. And it's just something I guess maybe most groups don't know about. But I know as a Discipline Priest, I want this mob gone first because I know how much damage it does to the tank. So that's why you should put a skull like in every pug I'm in. I always want the Ashman Invader first as a Discipline Priest. Like as a Paladin, I can cleanse it, no big deal. Even as a Protection Paladin, which is what I kind of play as an alt, I know, okay, Invader is not like a main priority because I can cleanse that off myself every, what, 8 seconds, 10 seconds? Is that how long the spell is? I don't really remember. But I know I can take care of that myself. But as a Discipline Priest, I know what this mob does, so that's why I schism it. Even though it's not the highest health mob in this pack, I know it's a priority mob in this pack for me to keep this tank alive. So there I mass the spell. Feel that freaking badass Weakcore I have that shows me what is dispellable over the floating enemies. Floating enemy frames. Ooh, man, yawning. Yeah, there's another invader up, so I schism. Okay, I schism commander there. The invader was probably what, like 20% HP, so yeah, easy. I think Demon Hunters actually handle magic damage pretty well, but it's still just one of those things like, I know I just don't want that mob up because I know what it can do. Again, invader, skull target. Schism, single target rotation, get my dots out, atonements out. I didn't need, I guess, yeah, these guys just randomly pick targets to shoot. So I like to have my atonements out and just ready to go, ready to do my healing for me. here, if you're learning Siege of Borealis, if you're here to watch and learn this dungeon, pull that. If you pull that boss, it pulls all the packs inside its room. So you could go balls to the wall, YOLO, and try and pull all 3 packs with Lust, which would be insane. You'd have to really have like, I don't really know what you'd have to have there. You'd have to have Jesus Christ on your side, I guess, for a pull like that. But whenever you pull that boss, all those mobs pull, no matter if it's 1 pack left, 2 pack, or all 3 packs, just so you're conscious of it. If you pull that mob or that boss, even on accident, like all those top mobs are coming to you. So it's a good play, like when we have 1 pack left, and let's say the boss is padding here, and instead of waiting for the boss to pat to go pull a mob, or a pack of mobs, you can just pull the boss instead and the mobs will come to you like we just did there. So here's another play, like if we were to kill that spotter from earlier on in the dungeon, I've seen some people use this spotter here for all 3 packs we just pulled there. Like any extra damage is, any extra damage to the mobs is definitely going to help you out, but it's also, it's kind of, I don't know how to say it. I guess it's kind of like a risk, because if you have some players who are not really aware of what's going on around them and they don't really pay attention that they're standing in that blast also, they're going to get hit too. It's not like everyone inside it gets hit, mob or friendlies, they get hurt. So it's a good play if people are prepared for it. I guess that's something better off for a Discord. But yeah, if you're watching this and you're a team trying to push keys and you're looking to learn, I would say use those spotters in your benefit, in your favor, and let them do some of the damage for you. So here, I think that quote, no, I got it. Let me go back real quick. Okay, let's see. So, which one was that? Here's a mechanic, I think it's called Breakwater. So this one that I usually forget the first time I do it, first time I do Siege of Borealis in a while, I always forget like what name it is. But this is like properly ramping right here. I'm pretty sure it's Breakwater. So no one has Atonement yet, but I'm getting ready to cast Empowered Radiance. Is it Breakwater? Okay, no, okay, I Raptured instead. Let's watch that real quick. Okay, so I pop my Rapture, I just go down the line, everyone gets a stronger shield, and they get their Atonement. So, let's watch my HPS here, Breakwater goes off, boom, 80k, big 80k burst HPS. That's how you properly ramp. That also comes from obviously knowledge of the run, knowledge of boss mechanics, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. So I think Breakwater, here it comes again. I don't think I do it properly this time. Do I? Okay, I do. I get Radiance out. Didn't benefit from it as much, but I mean, you guys saw what it means to properly ramp. So hopefully that was kind of like a very good visual of what it means to ramp as a Discipline Priest. It's not, like in short, it's pretty much get your atonements ready and ideally your Rapture and or just regular power shields ready to absorb damage, and then have dots already rolling. So when those excuse me, so that damage does hit, your absorb shields absorb some of it, and then your atonements are ready to start healing because you have your dots ready, and you have your schism ready, and you have your penance and solace ready, you have your smites ready. That's what it means to ramp. Have absorb shields and atonements out before the damage hits. That way when the damage does hit, the shields get absorbed as you're healing, and your atonement's already ready to start ticking because you're Purge of Wicked or your powered death, no, powered pain? Shadow Word Pain. If you decide to go with that dot instead, that's already out, ready to do some work for you. So that is properly ramping. Go back a little bit if you need to see what proper ramp looks like, and hopefully from then on out you just know, like, okay, boom, when I hear Discipline Priest, when people talk about Discipline Priest, talk about ramping, I know what I'm talking about now. I dig with you. We don't wipe here. Because if we wiped here, yeah, no, we don't wipe here. Yeah, if we were to wipe here, it'd probably be a deplete. Depleto. So this mob here, or this boss here, if you kill, or if you even attack this Gripping Terror before the Demolishing Terror dies, the Gripping Terror has like a timer to summon Demolisher, right there. So usually the game plan is on every single platform is kill the demo, Demolishing Terror, which often you see typed out as demo. To kill the demo first, and then go for the gripping, and then if a demo comes up, go on that demo real quick, and then back to the gripping. The tank can kind of handle the demos by itself, but before you leave the platform, you want to make sure the demos are dead. See there, like I was able to finish off the gripping while they finished off the demo. Tank, there he goes, leaps over to get the demo aggro first, and what is that guy doing? Okay, let's see if I can get that on on record. Alright, we're running over, right? Let's see. Wallball gets aggro. Alright, he hits it. First cast comes up with Putrid Waters, which is the dispellable thing that you want to be on top of. If you're a priest, you can mass dispel and dispel. I like to save mass dispel if there's a tank and a melee or two melees. Whoever's going to be grouped up, I like to have my mass dispels for them, because if you dispel someone and someone without the debuff is inside that circle ring, you'll see them kind of, they get a huge knockback on them. It's kind of funny to watch, actually. But if you do that as a priest also, you can life grip them back into the playing field, which is also kind of fun, but it's not like ideal. You like just trying to do Sports Center's top 10. Okay, so here we go. This Druid is going off to hit the gripping, you'll see here. Don't know why. Probably because of Ragnaros, I don't know. But he goes to the gripping, right? And as soon as he hits it, summon Demolisher comes out. That's what I was talking about. He hit this, he started a timer for a new one of these Demolishers to come out, which is just an unnecessary thing to do. If you just stayed and went right to the demo, that timer would not have came out. So he's out there trying to DPS for some reason. He's probably trying to pad, honestly, to get 2 dots on 2 targets, which is unfortunate, but a lot of times in pugs, I mean, you'll get players like that who just want to like flex on the meters for some reason. Instead of doing it properly, you know, they'd rather, oh, look at me, like, I did this much DPS, it's not my fault we wiped or we died. I mean, not doing mechanics, yes, like, that is a reason to fail a key, even though you might be very high in the meters, HPS or DPS. Not doing mechanics properly could be a very good indicator as to why you're not pushing keys, but you might be doing a bunch of damage. But since that person already started the timers, I might as well go ahead and DPS the Gripping Terrors while they're doing the demos, set both dots rolling, and just do what I can. While they're hitting demo, I can be hitting gripping. Did we bust? Maybe we lusted that last boss we just did. But if you're going to save lust, a lot of people like to save it for this last phase here, this last platform here, which isn't a bad idea, but you can also lust that second platform we just did. But here, like I'm proving my point right now. No one hit the gripping, right? This guy's already what, 58% HP? And no summon demolishers. No summon demolishers yet on DVM. And that's what I was talking about. Kill demos first, that way you don't have another demolisher coming up in 20 seconds because someone wanted to go hit the griffin. So now, as soon as we hit it, that thing comes up immediately. So it just proves what I was talking about. There's a lot of awkward times. My Master Spell is down right now, so that would have been a great time for a Master Spell, but it was not up and ready. But there are a lot of awkward times in this fight, kind of like ones I use Powered Barrier, Pain Suppression, Rapture. Well, Rapture is a little bit easier to use because you can Rapture up who has that Dispellable dot on them, and your Dispels are on CD, you can spam Rapture Shield them, just to kind of save yourself until your Dispel comes back. The Powered Barrier is always a little bit awkward to use, so right there I felt like was the best time to use it, but it's one of those things, is like, just kind of use it to use it, just get it out. As I can't think of like a one boom, let's use it here. Also, I don't know why normally that's like a DPS's job, because I'm still trying to heal, but that's really anyone's job to hop in there and use that cannon. So right, this engineer got done working really fast to fix this cannon, and everyone's trying to burst the demo down for some reason. Maybe they're trying to pad still, I don't know. 2 Ragnarok players, never know with these guys. So, as someone who wanted to push this key, I see the thing is ready to go. I hop in. Make sure you do not miss this shot. That's a 30-second cooldown if you shoot like way the hell over here, or like 180 behind me. So you hit him, hit the boss, pretty huge window to hit. Boom, dead. Key over. There you go. 15 in time. Yeah. Start for the Mile Meltdown / int. Yeah, that sure as shit was. Man, what am I doing off screen? Okay, so there you go. Plus 15 Siege of Brow, plus 1 chest. There's my overalls. Cool. Wall Ball, if you're watching, thanks for sticking this one out. Thanks for tanking this one. Appreciate it. Hopefully we can run some more keys in the future here. But yeah, that is it. 15 Siege of Brow in time, plus 1 on Tyrannical. Even this last boss is hard at Tyrannical just because of the spells and some of the affixes. This is just an all-around kind of, it's a fun dungeon, but at the same time it's kind of shitty. It's like one of those, maybe certain weeks like you just don't do it because the affixes are pretty bad. Like this is bad for bursting, sanguine, and bolstering. Sanguine not as terrible compared to bolster and burst, but it's a fun run sometimes, let's put it that way. So yeah, there you go. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions, like I always say, if you have any questions about my gear, my talents, my essences, my corruption pieces, just let me know. I have, I don't know how many more dungeons I have left to do, but I'm almost 2200 IO. At this point, I'm like 2174 now, because I'm starting to push some random 17s. But yeah, that is all. Stay tuned to this channel for more Mythic Plus content, and maybe I'll get into doing some other content, but as for right now, I'm trying to finish out this series of Discipline Priest, point of view, 15s in time, at least a +1, and then when those are done, plan on doing like an overview of my character, my talents, and talking about affixes and what I would look to change depending on what week it is, and things like that. Yeah, thank you all for watching.